Going through history, there have been various leaders of lots of different movements who've claimed that a particular group or a people are the master race or the chosen race, or there's a need for racial purity. Does this claim actually have any substance, or is it just pandering to prejudice and baser instincts? Well, there's been found a male and female ancestor lived between 100 and 200,000 years ago, and every human who's now alive on this planet is genetically related to those two individuals. So going back that far, we're all related to each other. After that, humans interbred at some stage with Neanderthals and Denisovans. Now, everyone has some of their DNA in them, so no one's pure anything. Some people might, however, think that was 50,000 years ago. A lot has changed since then. And to a point, again, they're correct. There was certainly, in ancient times, large movements of populations. This is without taking into account movements of individuals. This is a movement of armies and tribes and very large migrations. For instance, when Alexander the Great moved his European army into Asia, he encouraged his generals and soldiers to take Asian wives, and some settled in Asia, others moved to Egypt, and others went back to Greece. Europe in turn had wave after wave of Eurasian nomads, from Cimmerians to Mongols to Seljuks, and many others, all eventually mixing in with the local population. The Romans themselves had a policy of recruiting their auxiliaries from countries they had conquered, and then deploying them a great distance from their home countries to reduce their chance of rebelling against the Romans. So, for example, Numidian horsemen who were from North Africa were stationed by Hadrian's Wall to protect the north of England from attacks by the Picts. These mixed Europeans themselves then went exploring the globe and conquering vast areas. Europeans settled in these areas and mixed with the local population, almost everywhere, including the Americas, Africa, the Pacific. Even remote areas like the high plateau in Tibet was recently invaded and settled by the Chinese. So really, no group can be said to be that racially pure. What then of those individuals who carefully plot their ancestors and their family history to trace all their ancestors back going, say, 10 or more generations? Well, studies have shown that 1 in 10 males who thought they were the father of a particular child turn out to be not genetically linked to them at all. So if you go back and look at your great-great-great-great-grandfathers, about half of those are not actually going to be directly related to you. This doesn't even take into account things like adoptions and other factors which may happen to not link you genetically with your supposed ancestors. Now, all this mixing, does it matter? Well, actually, if you look at it on a genetic standpoint, if you think about any breeding of normal animals, we say, mixing of the genetic profile is actually healthy and beneficial. It's only when you pure breed an animal you get inbred diseases and things coming in and harming the population. When you breed amongst a wider population and mix the gene pool, you don't have those inbred diseases affecting you. So not only doesn't inbreeding help the population, it doesn't exist. We're a mixed race. Let's settle it that way.